I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just hustle sat in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hate, disfigure me. The pain that I'm lazy be killing me, maybe just slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the truth of my tears is countless. The effect of them years is astounding, but I can't wait till the shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles are making it official. I'm capturing every crack and surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beach. 144, get the brutal show. We can all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found. The time for your judgment is now. Do you see just how it feels? Baby, is
All right. Go ahead, clap it up. So Shalom Israel. Yabashim Yashai Bragathum to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemal Latham Bashim Yashai to all the sisters. All right. It's a good night out here in Northern California. We in Richmond, California. You know what I'm saying? Good to see the brothers. Good to see the sisters showing up for class. Tonight's topic is yield not to temptation. Before I get into that, I'm going to read what the ISUBK is about. You can find this on the website. In the ISUBK, we're educating Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians about their true heritage, which is comprised of the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. Once our people begin to follow the laws in the Bible, God, or Yahweh in the Hebrew, will look down from heaven and have mercy on us. He will also send Christ to free us from our oppression. Using the Bible, the ISUPK will fix all the problems of the Black, Latino, and Native Indian communities, turning the lawless and immoral people into a law-abiding, righteous people. The true nationality of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, and West Indians of North, Central, and South America are the true descendants of the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, and Yahushua Mashiach, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, is our King. All right. So once again, give everybody yourselves a hand. Let's get into it, man. This is a scripture breakdown for ISUBK Northern California. Anybody have any questions? Any questions in the room? Questions online? Let's see if we got any questions online. Go ahead.
If I may, sir. I was wondering. I'm kind of. It's more of a question.
Mhm.
So I was reading Luke chapter 2, verse 1,
Mhm.
and it started to cover about. It said like that Joseph went back to pay his taxes,
Right.
and I know it's nothing new under the sun.
Mhm.
So I was just curious. Because it also later on got into a few chapters down, said that Mary had gave birth to Jesus when he traveled there.
Mhm.
And then a few chapters down from there, it said that the angels came to some workers.
Mhm.
Can't explain exactly, but the angels came to him and told him that the Messiah was born.
Mhm.
And they went back and spread the word to Israel, and all of Israel came to see the Messiah. Could that be the same thing as like the Passover at that time?
Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up, man. Let me see what you're trying to say. Let's get it. You said the second chapter. We can bounce around, like you said, a couple of verses down, and we don't got to read everything. But let's start where exactly your question is at.
Dang, was Jesus born at the Passover, around the Passover?
Yeah, he was definitely born around Passover time. That's true. We know that because let's see. Go to Matthew.
Right, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Y'all got it? All right, the book of Luke, chapter 2. The book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 1. The book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 1. And it reads, and it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus,
Mm-hmm.
that all the world should be taxed. Verse 2. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. Verse 3. And all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. Verse 4. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house of and lineage of David. Verse 5. To be taxed with many, with Mary, his spouse wife, being great with child. So if I may, so from there I was like, okay, so Joseph went. So that's like me being from California, and at that time I could move to Texas, but I still got to come back to California to pay my taxes.
Right.
So he traveled back to pay his taxes at that time to where he was originally from with Mary when she was with child.
Come.
And then verse 6. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she would be delivered.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7. And she brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped him with swaddled clothes and laid him in a manner because there was no room for them in the inn.
So you could let's see. Yeah, keep going. Verse 8.
And there And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. Verse 9. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. Verse 10.
Okay.
And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people.
Okay. All right. Boom. Go down to the part where you said everyone had been alerted.
Is it verse 17, I believe? Verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And when they had seen it, they made known abroad the saying which was told them concerning the child. And all they that heard it wondered at those things which were told them by the shepherds. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. Verse 20.
So basically, going to,
Flip. You turn it down.
let's see, select here. Okay. So basically, you're saying, can you conclude from all of this that because of everyone hearing this, it was at Passover? That's basically what your question is, to kind of just to skip forward, basically for time's sake. Okay, we know Christ was born in the springtime because the time that the taxes were done with Caesar was around the springtime. It wasn't in the winter. You know what I mean? You're not gonna have people traveling from all over to this one spot at that time of year. Now, is it specifically at Passover? I don't think there's any precepts that say he was specifically born at Passover, but it was in the springtime. All right.
And Passover is looks like, and Passover is normally in the around like how we are
in the springtime.
Yeah,
it is the new year.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's why they would do that on the cycle too. You know what I mean? Of a new year, we're going to do the census. We're going to see get the taxes, all those type of things was getting taken care of at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no sweat. Anything else? All right. With that, we're going to go ahead and get to tonight's topic. Let's go to the first precept. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, and verse 1. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, and verse 1. In the Apocrypha, yeah. The topic of tonight is yield not to temptation. And when you come into the truth, you're going to face temptation.
Right.
When you come to serve the Lord, you're going to face temptation. This is a famous UPK One West precept. Captain Zaryak always pulls this precept. He says it's one of his favorite because it's so accurate and it's so true when you're dealing with waking up to your identity, coming to serve the Lord. All right, everybody got it?
Okay.
Go ahead, read it when you got it.
Okay. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
We hear about these heathens. What are they called? Conspiracy theorists, different people that run around. They've been on TV for years. They have different shows. What they call prepping, right? The preppers. You hear about Edomites. Some of them is worrying about the world getting iced over. Some of them is worrying about the World War III. Some of them is worrying about aliens. All of them is preparing for something. They got they food. They got they clothes. They got all this prepared for something to come. So why is it that they're doing that? Anybody? Why are they going through all those steps? Go ahead up.
talks of war and the rumors of war.
Right. Well, not only them, like I said, we talking about heathens just in general, not brothers in the truth. Talking about the heathens that just go and do outlandish things. Some of them got 20 pounds of honey for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead.
To cause disruption or a distraction, maybe.
What? No, in their mind, what are they preparing for? Is what I'm asking. Go ahead.
If I may, so they're preparing for hard times. For
Right.
the battle.
Right. Why?
Because they know history repeats itself, time repeats itself.
That's cool. It's a little bit simple. Just more plain. You ain't got to overthink it. Like, they getting ready for something. What are they getting ready for? Go ahead.
Getting ready for some kind of disaster.
Disaster. And they don't want to be caught what? Slipping.
Right.
They want to be caught without. So they're preparing for a great disaster to come, because if they don't have these things in hand and ready, and when it comes, they're going to be ate out. They're going to be, you know what I'm saying, caught slipping. So why is the Bible saying this? Go ahead, read it again.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
You got to be just like them. You got to be zealous to prepare and have everything in line, everything in way in this battle of temptation that's going to come to you when you try to change your life.
Right.
Keep going.
Verse 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
And do what?
Endure.
No, read it again from constantly. Salaki.
And constantly endure.
Right, you're going to have to constantly endure, because not only facing temptation is not going to be a one-time thing. Like, okay, you good now. Christ, the Lord tested you. See if you tawab, now you good. You can just go live the rest of your life. Things are always going to come up. You might think you done solved something, you done overcame something, that demon come right back on you. And it's not even just to the fact of you can conquer your demons, but they're never fully going to go away. And so you have to constantly have your guard up, constantly be prepared for these type of things. And how you do that is what? Coming to class,
right,
watching scripture breakdown, reading the Bible, going over things, getting counsel. All those things are the things that we need to do to prepare ourselves, just like someone else. They got they dry foods, they got their clothes, they got they what's it called? The for electricity, you gotta have your solar power, generator, all that. You need all that. You're gonna need that and more when it comes to truth. You gotta look at it the same way. All right, keep going.
And make not haste in time of trouble.
Right. What does that mean? Anybody? Go ahead.
Don't run. Like don't be afraid.
That's to what is haste though? Go ahead, Tazaba.
To hurry.
Explain it.
To hurry like rush.
Make haste not in time of trouble. What is it like in full? We'll break that part down.
Don't rush to do something.
That's right. Sis, you want to take it out?
I think it means to be prepared and not rush at the last minute.
Right.
Just prepare yourself.
Right. And also, it's also saying like you don't want to make a quick decision because something is going on in your life. Certain people in the world, they known for this, like, oh, my light's about to get cut off. All right, what are we gonna do? We got to go steal an ATM. You see in the movies, dude running down the street with a whole ATM on a little cart. You know what I mean? Like, just because your light's about to get cut off. Now you in prison for 5 years when you could have just dealt with the lights being off for a week, saved up some money and got them turned back on. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't make haste in times of trouble. The Lord is testing you. He's giving you this reason to prove who you are. You say who you are. You see what I mean? It's easy to be something when everything is good. But let's keep going.
Verse 3. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased as thou last end.
Right. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Like, cleave unto the Most High. Just like you think about a little baby that's cleaving to their mother that doesn't want to let go. You're going to have to be like that with the Lord.
Right.
When things are going on in your life, don't get further away from the truth. Don't get further away from the brothers. Don't go and get in a shell and think that things are going to get better. You solving your own problems, you and your demons having a fiesta. You know what I'm saying? Having a party. And that's not going to make things better, man. You got to cleave unto the Lord. And how you do that is that's getting around the priests and prophets. That's getting around the brothers, getting around the sisters. You understand what I'm saying? Getting and seeking counsel, all right, for your issues. Keep going.
Come.
No sweat.
Verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully,
Mm-hmm.
and be patient when thou art charged to a low estate.
Right. And be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Like in the book of Revelations, it talks about he that hath an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. This is the patience and the faith of the saints. Like, and I'm paraphrasing, but to be patient is honorable.
Right.
People in America have been taught and brainwashed a whole lot to have everything now. Give me my money and I want it now. Like, I gotta have it now because America profits off of you being lustful. And people, when they hear that word, they think just of something like sexual. That's not the only, like, lust is food. Lust is money. People have a lust for money. People have a lust for power. People have a lust for cars, women, clothes, drugs, all these things that are carnal. And that's one way that Satan comes in and tempts you. And this is what we can't yield to. All right. Well, let's keep going.
Come. Verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire.
For what is?
Gold is tried in the fire.
Like, how do you test this is real gold? When you go to the jeweler is going to put it through some type of fire test. Gold can withstand a certain amount of heat. Every metal has a melting point.
about the Christian church because late night there's this Christian guy that comes on. They call him Peter Popoff, and it's a oppressor.
Right.
And he's on there, and all the people in the congregation that comes up are, African American, and they come up and, I drunk this holy water, and now I got $3,000.
Right.
I drank this holy water, now I got $10,000. But it's all African American people, and it's just poison. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, well, now you can order this free holy water. All this number will send it to your house. It's terrible. But that's what the Christian church is now.
All right, get a sister ahead. That's starting to open your eyes and see, because that's how they fooled my grandmother. That's how they fooled my aunties. That's how they fooled other brothers, uncles, and family members, is because they trying to sell them hope. They're trying to sell us hope. Just like Barack Obama made a whole campaign called Hope. Change and hope is because who needs hope? Poor people. People that are enslaved. Those are the ones that need hope. The oppressor don't need hope. Hope for what? Another car, another 401k, you know what I'm saying? Another retirement plan. Like, they don't need hope. They have their kingdom. We're the ones that are sitting pleading and hoping for something all the time because we don't have anything. And that's what Christianity has done. And so when you come in to the truth, that's what we say. You always have to fight the Christian in you. Like, that was something new when I first came into the UPK. I would hear Officer Karak say it all the time, like, oh, that's just Christianity. Or like, don't be a Christian. Like, you don't realize how deep and embedded Christian culture is pushing to you. You could have grew up a Muslim. You could have never went to church. One day in your life, you're still a Christian because the background of your brain and your thinking is all Christianity. All right. So now you come into some other place and it's the opposite. Okay, I'm coming to do something right. I'm finally doing what the Bible says. I learned I'm an Israelite. I don't eat pork no more. I stopped, eating shrimp. I don't celebrate on Christmas, Thanksgiving. I stopped going to church on Sunday, and now I lose my job. Now my mama don't want to talk to me no more. When I was a drug dealer, she didn't have a problem. Now that I stopped selling drugs, I can't come around no more. You see what I'm saying? Like, these things happen to you, and you think that something is wrong, when in reality, the Lord says that an acceptable man is tried in the furnace of adversity. I can't. Matter of fact, can somebody get that one? It's Ecclesiasticus 6th chapter. A friend, try a friend. You can find that one, I believe. If somebody can find it, but I'm gonna keep going for time's sake. Go ahead.
So I can.
We had that one.
Chapter 6, verse 14.
Is that it?
I believe so.
Go ahead.
A faithful friend is strong defense, and he found such, and when he found a treasure. Okay. Is there anything else? A little bit. One that says like you have to try a friend. He's gonna say try a friend. Let me look and see. That's a good one though. That whole chapter starts talking about friends. Try a friend. Ecclesiastes 6 and 7. So it's right a little bit above.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6, verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first. Prove him first. And be not hasty to credit him.
Right. You got to prove a friend first. We all experience that in life. You growing up, you've been through high school. Anybody in America can understand this. You had a friend at one point in time that was cool, rocking and rolling with you, and then something happened where they showed their true colors. You were over somewhere, and it's like I remember one time I was in San Francisco. Me and two of my partners, we had caught the BART over there to go out and hang out late night, go to some clubs. We're trying to go into the clubs. They wouldn't let us in the club because of the dress code or whatever. We still staying out there trying to talk to some females or whatnot. It was me and my partner from Oakland, Leonard, and it was my other partner. He was an Edomite. He was from San Leandro. And me and the Edomite, we was actually pretty close. You know what I'm saying? Like we were pretty cool. You know what I mean? That was like one of my best friends, right? We get to talking to certain females and everything like that. And the time is getting late. You know, the BART stops running after a certain time. And he's like telling us, hey, man, we got to go. We both Judites, man. We about to try to get these females or whatever. You know what I mean? It's clubs closing out. We parking lot or whatever. So he like gets mad because he doesn't want to miss the BART. And so he leaves us and catches the BART and goes home. We stuck on this side of the bridge. No car, no way to get home. And that's like prove what type of friend he was. Right. He showed who an Edomite is. Like my Judite partner, we may not kick it every day like we used to kick it, like I used to kick it with him, but he was down with me, you know what I'm saying, in a time of need. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna leave somebody by themselves, anything can happen. And come to find out, you know, we end up talking to the females gave us a ride home. You know what I'm saying? So we got over to the other side of the bridge before he did. You know what I'm saying? And that just showed me, you know what I mean, that he was the devil the Bible speaks of. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't depend on him. And that's proving who a friend is. You have to go through situations to see who is really with you and who's against you. So now you think the Lord is going to be some sucker? You don't think he hasn't been around the world and seen everything? You're going to come into his house and say, I'm with you, without him proving you. You got to go through different situations to say, okay, this person really is with me. All right, let's drop that. Let's go to the book of Romans 6 and 16. Book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 16.
The book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 16.
Son of Christ.
The book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 16. Mm-hmm. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey?
Right, like, know ye not. So when you hear that, like, Paul is telling these brothers and telling these sisters, like, you're supposed to know this. You being in the truth, you're supposed to know that whom ye yield yourselves servants to, obey. Keep going.
His servants ye are to whom ye obey.
Right, like, what does it mean to yield? I'm going to go ahead and just read the definition right here. Yield is to give way to arguments, demands, or pressure. To surrender, to submit, right? Whoever you yield yourselves to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey. So what does this mean? If you yield yourself to something, then you're underneath that. You're going to have to serve that. Basically, in simple words, like if you yield to your job and it's stopping you from doing the work of the Lord, then you're going to serve your job.
Right.
If you yield to money, then that's what you're going to serve, money. If you got a car that's breaking down or causing problems that's stopping you from doing the work of the Lord, you need to sell that car. You need to get rid of that car because it's causing you to yield to it. You submitting to it as opposed to what? The Most High. You see what I mean? So the Lord wants you to yield to him. That's the spirit of the Lord, of the Most High that we have to be in. Satan wants you to yield to anything else but the Lord. So it can be a rock, it can be your woman, it can be your man, it can be weed, it can be cigarettes, it can be whores, it can be TikTok, it's a millions. Like what's the priest? It's millions of ways to yield to anything but the Lord. What's the precept to that? There's a lot of ways to go against the Lord. Book of Matthew, the 7th, is it 17? Wide is the path to destruction, narrow is the gate. It's a horrible paraphrasing, but you know what I mean? It's a narrow path to walk down the truth. Wide is the path to destruction. It's Islam, it's Hinduism, it's atheism, it's weedism, it's I need to be a rapper, it's I need to just sell drugs for 4 more years and I'm out to. It's how many different ways and stories we tell ourselves that we justify not following the Lord. I need to celebrate Christmas for the kids. I need to celebrate Easter for the kids. I don't know if y'all brothers saw that post by Kazak Ahmad out of DC. Brother made a heavy post. He was like, you people out here are mad because I'm saying we don't need to celebrate Easter. And the most common response is, well, we know it's pagan, we know it's this, we know it's that, but we do it for the kids. So he was like, all right, I know you're full of BS, and it's not about the kids, because you know what you won't do for the kids. You won't stop getting high for the kids. Right. You won't stop smoking cigarettes for the kids. You won't stop arguing with your man or your woman in front of the kids for the kids. He just went through the list of everything that people won't do for the kids. But when it comes to this holiday that everyone celebrates, all of a sudden you care about the goddamn kids, man. If you want to really care about the kids, prove it to me the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to prove a friend. You don't care about the kids, man. Don't lie to me. Don't play no games with me, man. The priest and prophet of the Lord, man. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, holidays is for them. So they can have their little party or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like they can do something, glorify themselves.
That's right.
That's why they celebrate.
Damn right. Damn right. Yeah. Christmas is it's interesting, man. Sometimes you be away from the world so long, you start to forget why like people really have such a love for these things. But it's definitely, like you said, it's for you, it's for yourself. A lot of people, it's a stun competition. You feel like Birdman. You know what I mean? I'm trying to stun on these other people, man. Look how much I can buy my kids. Look at your kids. Your kids don't got nothing. So I feel better than you because I was able to do this and do that, etc. But let's keep going. Where we at? Let's start at Romans 6 and where we at? 16 and start from the top.
From the top. The book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 16. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey.
Right.
Whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness. Right.
Either you're going to yield yourself to the Lord what he wants, you're going to yield yourself to Satan what he wants. And that's what you're going to end up serving. Like the Bible says in the book of Psalms in the 82nd chapter that ye are gods, ye are powers. The correct translation is you are power. We are powers in earth. We are a powerful nation of people. We can do a lot of things. How are you going to be powerful when you yielding to all these carnal things? And that's why Esau is so big on torture. You think about torture and what was going on back in Guantanamo Bay, all these Afghanistan and all these different places. Esau, why is he always torturing people? Because he's trying to do what? Go ahead.
He's trying to break you.
Right. That's the word, right? Yeah, that's the exact answer. He's trying to break you and to change you. He's trying to change the spirit that's in you. You were doing one thing. You was Taliban. Allah Akbar. You ready to jump out the window for Allah. And he's going to sit here and torture you and wants you to leave out that room saying, God loves America. God bless America. He wants to break you. what's the famous movie in the movie Roots? Yeah, Kunta Kinte. He came in the spirit that my name is this, my family is this is what we do. They kept whipping him and beating him until he was, all right, I'm Toby. All right, you broke me. Call me whatever, man. Call me Toby now. They broke the spirit of that person. And so your flesh, you can't open up someone's brain and pull out something in their mind that they want to do. Like, you have a spirit on you that wants to do this, right? And so if you have a lust to do something the Lord doesn't want you to do, then there is something going. If you want to do it, let's say, okay, like smoking weed. You don't want to smoke weed, but there's something that is making you want to do this, right? And it's not just your flesh, like I said, because for one, they say weed is not like a highly physically addictive thing. It's not like heroin where you get sick and you got to throw up if you don't have it. But there's something in you that's saying, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. I need to do this. That's a spirit, something in the spirit realm that is going on. And if you're not prepared, if you haven't built up your armor to fight, then you're going to yield to this. But if you learn that that's what's going on, it's easier for you to fight this thing. You see what I'm saying? And like, it's countless things, man. It's food. It's alcohol. It's sleep, laziness. Like, all these things your flesh wants to do. So another example, Commander Jenny Howard was explaining, like, everyone does need to eat. We all need to eat to survive. There's a point in your life, if you don't have any food and you keep going. So like, let me make sure this is plugged in too. I think this is plugged in. Let me see. I'll check it this way. Let me see. Yeah, it's plugged in. Most High Christ. And if you can you see me one time out, Logan Shaw? There's a point in your life though, like if you don't eat for a certain amount of days or a certain amount of time, you don't have water, you're going to die because your flesh needs food, right? But if you're going out to do something, like I say, you got to go to camp for the brothers. We got to go to camp. You don't need food right then and there to go to camp at that point. You're not going to die, right? So if that is what's stopping you, then you know that's something in the spirit realm, right? And so he's saying once you conscious of this, you can fight it because you know that this is a demon that's trying to prevent me from doing this. If this is getting in the way of me doing the work of the Lord, then I know that I don't need it. I need to tame my flesh. I need to yield to what the Lord wants, not what a demon wants me to do. All right. Let's see. Is there anything else on that? Read it again from the top.
The book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 16. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourself service to, obey. His servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether or of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness.
Right, like serving, obeying. General Muhammad was speaking earlier today, talking about brothers in different offices in the school. You got these orders to handle this and to do that. And if you're not obeying them orders, but you want to do it, then we know that it's something that's carnal getting in the way, man. And no different than sisters too. They got that situation. They got a man over them. Everybody has somebody over them. Everybody has someone that's giving orders. And if the man over you is giving you these orders, that's lawful. Because that's what we taught in the UPK. We follow all lawful orders. A man above you can't say, hey, I need you to go take this pack of dope to L.A. Lie, sir. I'm about to take you straight to council. I'm not about to do that. You know what I'm saying? Your husband can't order you to smoke weed. He can't order you to have some illicit whatever. You know what I mean? But if it's a lawful order, you may not like it, but follow the order. And after, if there's an issue, take it to council if you can't resolve it. You still bothering you, take it to a council. You know what I mean? But don't be in the spirit of, I don't have to listen because that is a demon. You see what I'm saying? All right. And whoever you yield to is who you're going to serve. And that's why the Lord always hated us following false gods, other nations' gods. Because if we follow the God of the Arabs, then we're going to serve the Arabs. There's no other way. The Arabs aren't going to come and serve you. You work at their liquor store. You go to their liquor store. You ride in their taxis, whatever. Like, we support the Arab culture being Muslims. If we follow Buddhism, we're going to support them. We got to buy our Buddhist statue from them. We got to learn from them. You're going to go follow the Dalai Lama. He trying to kiss your little boy in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? He trying to have tongue twister with your son. And you going to follow after him. Who is in charge? Him or you? You're going to serve them. They're going to get your money. They're going to get your energy. Their community is going to get built up. The Arab community is looking nice compared to the black community. But there's a whole lot of Muslims in the black community. It's something ain't adding up. All right. Let's drop that. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 27. What time we got? Time check 8:30. Won't hold brothers too long. Let's run through these precepts. The water for the drink to her. Matthew 5 and 27.
Out of Ryan and Allah him got Matthew chapter 5 verse 27. The book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 27. Mm-hmm. This is written in red, so this is Yahweh's word. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. Verse 28. Mm-hmm. But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart.
Right. So in these situations, man, Christ is upping the law of the Most High. He's not only following the law, he's saying that it's against the law to commit adultery. But he's saying, read it again, read verse 28.
Verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart.
Right. So a man is not supposed to look at another man's wife and lust after her. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And Christ is even taking it to the next level. You know, Commander Jenny Hunter was saying, like, we don't need to be in that spirit. That's ground zero of our fights in the truth. This is a carnal thing that's going on right here, right? So even at camp, you know what I mean? Like, it's sisters walking by the camp, brothers, you know what I mean? Nah, man, you got to be focused. You want to be on Shamar. That could be the oppressor sending. You know what I mean? Like, if you was dealing with a carnal camp like IUIC or GMS or any of these cats out here, I would just send somebody, some female prostitute in a red skippy dress and light the whole camp up because ain't nobody gonna be paying attention. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's in the movie The Matrix. If y'all remember that scene where the dude was in the simulation and he's walking, he's telling them everybody out here could be an agent. Anybody could turn into somebody that's an enemy at any given time. And a girl in a red dress walked by, and he turned around and looked. As soon as he looked, that person in the dress turned into an agent and had a gun to his face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like being able to master that is something that is very important. You know what I'm saying? And doing the work of the Lord. And that is how Esau operates. Commander Hano was speaking in the class where I got this from. He was basically saying that he went to Egypt and he didn't realize how much that is pushed over here in America. Like everything is sexualized. And this was back in 2005 when Commander Hano was talking about this. He was like, you know, the way they making these jeans, he was talking about, I think he was talking about apple bottoms back then. He like, they making them a certain way. They trying to lift up this and cutting it low like that. He was like, you know, the commercials on TV and this and that. Like everywhere you go, that's what's pumped. He said he went to Egypt. He didn't really notice it until he came back. But he was just like, after being there for a week or so, it's not on the TV. It's not on the advertisements. The women wearing long dresses, flowing dresses. You know what I'm saying? It's just your mind is not even focused on that. And why do you think Esau pushes that so much here in America? What?
It's to continue to destroy us, to keep us in a state where we don't know who we really are, what we really supposed to do.
Right. Go ahead. That's right. Money. Oh, I like that one. I wasn't even thinking that, but break that down. Huh?
I mean, you know, just like you said, they made the jeans, and then they came out with the music, pumping, get them jeans. You know what I'm saying? The advertisements,
right?
All that. You know what I'm saying? It is to further destroy us, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Our enemies is infatuated with money. So you know what I mean? They put the jeans out there. You know what I'm saying? They're knocking down two birds with one stone.
Damn right. Get that brother in. That's it right there. The money. And how do they make the money? They say, what does they say? Sex sells. They know that. Why does sex sell? Because it's like a distraction. You're not thinking anymore logically. You're going after your flesh. And so I didn't even want a beer right now, but then I seen the Bud Light, and the Bud Light girl in the bikini. That's supposed to make you want to buy a Bud Light. You don't even know why. It's, you know what I mean? It's just like somebody, you going to the bar. They like the bartender girls. They know what they're doing. They got game. Brothers think that she like you. She trying to get tips. You think that she really just love the way you she like your crooked nose? No, she doesn't. She's over here telling you these nice things because she wants you to buy the expensive drink. She wants you to pay for the tip. She wants you to buy everyone at the bar drinks because you feeling good. You see what I'm saying? It's a distraction. So Esau knows that if he can get you into a carnal state 24/7, like good night. Think about, we talking about 2000s. Right now, these kids is bombarded from sun up to sundown, from TikTok to Instagram to YouTube. It's like it's become normal. You walk outside, what's the sister that just did that walk down the carpet wearing nothing? What was her name? Sierra? Did y'all see that? Y'all sister didn't see that? I guess the only brother, they only sent it to our phone. See what I'm talking about? The sisters ain't even seen it. All the brothers know. Good night. Sierra went to the Grammys or Oscars or one of them, and she's with her husband, Russell Wilson, and the sister is wearing a see-through dress, and you can see basically her nothing but a thong. Like it. You know what I'm saying? And
you see everything.
You know what I mean? And it's like one thing that General Hunter said is heavy. He was like, we're not supposed to fight to lust after these things. We're supposed to fight to feel bad for that sister. You see what I'm saying? Like to see how they are using her, and they said she got paid like $500,000 to wear that dress or something like that. Go ahead.
I think it's really sad. I'm not sure if everyone saw the video with Kanye West when he was talking about how I think it was his like gym director or someone. I could be wrong,
Right.
but someone was telling him, if you pretty much don't do what I say, I'm gonna put you back into a psychiatric unit and you'll never see your kids again.
Right.
But it's like a manipulation, but they do that in the music industry to destroy us as a whole because, you know, like you said, that's what sells. And they really don't want to do it just like, you know, Cardi B. She was playing her music and her daughter walked in and she about to break everything in there to turn it off because she don't want her daughter to hear it.
Right.
But they sell it to our kids though.
Right. And that's get her answer for that. Go ahead, sis.
What was her purpose? Was it to sell for the designer? Is that what they bought? I mean, what was she wearing it for?
Exactly. So the thing came out after that. Somebody said the designer paid her, like I believe $500,000, $300,000, something like that. But her husband is worth $32 million for one thing. So who knows? But this is how Esau works. This is how Satan works. So he used her carnality because she had lust for money to buy certain things to make her feel good because she's feeling insecure. And then now she sold out our people for her lust. And then we got the brothers that's lusting after her that want to see it. And then the creepy old, you know what I'm saying? All these different men around the world, not just the brother, we're going to blame it on Israel. The Edomites want to see that too. You know what I'm saying? The young kids want to see it. All these things is to get us into a state where we don't look at life as more than your flesh. Like you see these advertisements for food, they be like, I see some advertisements, they just sound evil, like go with it or get more. Like they just be saying stuff like, don't give in. So you know what I mean? Like it just really be something that sounds evil because, and they make it sound good. Like, okay, yeah, you're right. I should just give in. I should just get more. I should buy more. Like that's, when are you going to yield to what the Lord wants you to do? He's over here saying this is the hard way. It's not going to be easy. It's easy to just go and do this and do that, but it's hard to live like this. You know what I mean? But go ahead, talk about you had something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel bad for Russell Wilson.
Right.
That's his wife, you know what I mean? And she's standing right next to him naked.
Right.
For every brother to lust after, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no.
You know what I'm saying? How did that brother feel about it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he could have been damn that $500,000 she got for the dress or whatever.
Right.
But you know, he must not have no power or nothing, or say so with his wife wearing public.
And I'm gonna touch and add on to that, but let's go ahead, sis. You can check.
No, I was just gonna say, Salakia, sir.
Mhm.
I was just gonna say that I don't feel bad for whatever repercussions she has
Mhm.
behind her wearing whatever she had on.
Right.
Because I didn't see the video.
Right.
I don't know what is going on with her, but either way it goes, I don't feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
She knows what she's doing. She's a grown woman. She
Right,
has
right.
kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, as a grown woman, I would ask my husband first.
Right.
Do you feel comfortable with me having this on?
Right.
And first of all, if I'm not comfortable in it, there's no point in putting it on.
Right. Give her a hand, man. That's the one West right there, man. Yeah. That's the spirit we're supposed to be in, right? But she has been beaten down. So it's a thin line, right? When it becomes into the truth of having, Captain Zara says it a lot on Clubhouse, compassion for our people and understanding, and the same spirit that you in as well. Like, all right, we all have to be accountable. You know what I mean? Like, no one is going to just make it seem like you are just a victim. You see what I'm saying? But what we're saying from a point of compassion for people like this is understanding that your oppressor has worked with billions of dollars and 400 years of planning and plotting and planning to get this to this point. We didn't just wake up walking down the aisle with a sister with a thong out. You see what I'm saying? Right. Like a lot of these sisters have been abused, molested, been through different things in life, which is no justification for doing sin. But this is what Christ died for. It's for the sinners, for the brothers that there's no justification for a brother that sold heroin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's no justification for a brother that murdered someone. You see what I'm saying? But we have some level of compassion and forgiveness for them because we all have done the same things in some way, shape, or form. Now, with that said, we know who's the real, the devil is in the details. You see what I'm saying? Esau has brainwashed that brother to where if you listen to Russell Westbrook and you watch all the comments on those things, they were basically saying that a husband cannot tell his wife what to wear. A woman, she's grown, she can wear what she want to wear, and she look good, and she got a good body, and everyone in the world is making this way seem right. And so that's what they go with. It's only a few people on earth that we out here telling them, nah, this is wrong. And the only thing that we have to even say this is the Bible. You see what I mean? So we just got to make sure we sharpening ourselves up and we are not yielding or falling victim to what he's setting up for us. Because the same way he came to her, he going to try to come to us.
That's right.
And that's why we got to be tried through this adversity that comes to us. Our weakness may not be this. Our weakness may be that. But we all gonna have to fight, you know what I mean, in this walk in the truth. But let's see. Let's drop that. Let's go to the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15, verse 1. Like Christ, and then speaking on Christ, the thing that he did for us is like the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15, verse 1. Go ahead.
What's the chapter and verse?
Wisdom of Solomon, 15 and 1. Yeah, pocket for you. No sweat, a younger boy. Where we at? 840. All right. So, sorry, Christ. The thing that Christ has done for the nation of Israel is like you dealing, shalom, sir. It's like dealing with, you want to take over the class, sir? All right. It's like dealing with somebody that went to prison, went to jail or whatever. You was able to bail your friend out of jail. And when you bail him out of jail, you just say, hey, man, I'm going to bail you out, but I just need you to go and help me get others out of jail. When you get, I'm help you get out, I need your help to go help get others out. But if you get out, you go do the same thing or don't care about the others, then what he did was fruitless. It was no point and purpose of him coming to help you because you are just trampling on his sacrifice. Like I said, the example I was saying is like someone coming bailing you out of jail and they telling you, when I bail you out, I need you to go help me get the others that's locked up out. And you go out and you go and do the same things and don't care about them, man. That's like trampling on what he did for you. So we can't fall back in. That's the Christian spirit too. Right. Like I have forgiveness. I can be forgiven for my sins. So I get on a cycle of sinning, repenting, and then sinning again and just going in this endless cycle of sinning and repenting, sinning and repenting. That's not how we're supposed to be. Go ahead.
It sounds like kind of each one teach one.
Right.
So you see me doing something, I'm teaching you how to do it.
Right.
And you teach the next person and so on and so forth.
Right.
Each one teach one.
Damn right. That's the UPK. And we trying to teach the whole nation. And we can't teach them. The best way to teach is by example. You got to lead by example. And so we can't just be in this spirit of, we all sin. We all fall short of the glory. That's what they tell you. I actually saw a pastor, man. It tripped me out. He was like, we cannot become sinless. We just going to have to sin less. Basically, we can't stop sinning. We got to slow it down. You know what I mean? That sounds great to a whoremonger. That sounds great to a drug addict. It's like, man, okay, I won't snort a gram every day. I just snort on the weekends. that's your pastor. You know, I won't get 2 whores. I'm just gonna buy 1 whore. You know what I mean? Like, we can't become sinless. We gotta just sin less.
Right.
But Christ said, "Be ye therefore perfect." You understand what I'm saying? Like, we can become sinless. Sinless don't mean you're never gonna be angry. Don't mean you're not gonna have a bad day. It means you're obeying the law, statutes, and commandments of God. As long as we can do that. Go ahead, sir. Perfection? Me or the class? All right.
There is
What?
There's no such thing as perfection for us because we're gonna mess up at least once. Like there's no such thing as perfection.
Matthew 5:48. Good shot. We need. So that is, like we said, what I say that Croc told me coming into the truth. What do you hear a lot of times coming into Hebrew Academy for sure? We have to kill what? Christianity. We got to kill the Christian mind state. You know what I mean? And not, you know what I mean, single anyone out. But that is what we've learned in Christianity. Well, hold on. Let the brother read this one.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect.
Be ye what?
Be ye therefore perfect.
Right. So, now, what letter is that written in? Color?
Red, sir.
It's in red. This is Christ talking. So he's telling his followers to be perfect. It's either one thing or the other. Either we can't be perfect, or he's giving us a mission that you see what I'm saying? He's giving us a mission that we can't do, or he's giving us a mission we can do. And so, like I said, being perfect don't mean I'm gonna go to the basketball court and make 100 shots in a row and never miss. It don't mean I'm gonna not drive my car and get into an accident. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna get angry at my son. You know what I'm saying? But being perfect is obeying the laws of God. You see what I'm saying? So the Christian church has set this bar that, oh, you never gonna cuss no more. You ain't gonna drop my phone. God damn it. Oh, you wasn't perfect. Your day, oh, you going to hell now. No, that's not it. Being perfect is I didn't eat pork today. I didn't eat shrimp today. I didn't get any tattoos. I didn't commit adultery. I didn't celebrate a false religion today. I didn't worship another God. You see what I'm saying? These things we can do, and that is being perfect. Now, all those other things, we are going to have those situations, but being sinless is possible, is obtainable. It's not an impossible thing. The only reason why the people in the Bible kept falling into sin is because they didn't have a teacher to show them how to do it. And Christ was the ultimate teacher because he had a brotherhood for his people. It wasn't just about him. He understood the spirit of the law, and that living in a way for others is the way to being perfect. If you worry about yourself all the time, then that's what you're going to get. Like I said, you're going to serve yourself. That's what America pumps all the time. Being for me, by me, I, me. And then you get to get high by yourself. You get to deal with whores. You get to do all those things. When you thinking, okay, man, I love the Lord. I got another opportunity. I have love for Christ, someone other than myself. Then when this thing comes up, it's giving up pork that hard. It's giving up Christmas that hard. This brother died on a cross for me. I can't not do this much. Go ahead, sir, please. Let's get it. Rock feels so far back there, sir. You need the headpiece. Oh, man. Go ahead, sis.
Can I get the book and the chapter?
What was it? Psalms? I didn't hear.
19:7.
19:7. A unicorn, no sweat. Read it when you got it, huh?
Come. The book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
You want to break it down, sir? Read it again.
John Bukah. The book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
Right. The law of Yahweh is perfect. There's nothing wrong with this law. America's law, America's government. We got 50 states in America, and every state has their own laws. You go to California, you can smoke all the weed in the world you want, but you can't have a gun. You can go to Texas, you can have all the guns in the world you want, but you can't have weed. Like you can go to California, they used to have gay marriage was legal here first. You go somewhere else, it's illegal. Like their laws are not perfect because they come from man. This is how we know the laws of God. The laws of this Bible are from the Lord is because they're perfect. They, like, no one knew that eating bat could cause coronavirus 4,000 years ago when Moses was given this law. Who would have thought that? But you know that's a law in the Bible. You can't eat bats. It specifically says bat. If sisters don't know, brothers don't know, in Leviticus in the 11th chapter, it says you cannot eat a bat. Just like your pastor going to sit here and argue with you that all flesh is clean and you can eat pork, bacon, and assalamu alaikum ham. Like you can have all of that. They don't realize that in these laws, the animals that we're told not to eat have caused some of the biggest pandemics in the past 100 years. Swine flu. Where do you think that came from? Go ahead.
Ducks and stuff.
Swine. It's in the name. You know what I mean? Swine flu, bird flu. Right. Oh yeah, bird flu. Exactly. Eating these unlawful birds. There's certain birds we're not supposed to eat. Not supposed to eat a hawk, an eagle, vulture. You know what I mean? These predator animals. Exactly. And that's natural to us too. That reaction right there. Precinct Officer 5001 Yala said, Black people as a nation of people, we naturally keep the majority of the laws of the Bible by nature. Like we don't want to eat these disgusting animals or these things. It's only about 10 or 12 laws we really battling with. And once we get over them, man, we will be a holy and righteous nation. But go ahead, sir.
Like what Matthew 5:48 said, be therefore perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Psalm 19:7 saying the law of the Lord is perfect. So what is perfection? Is being in in proper order with the law. Right? It converts your soul.
Mm.
So what does that mean? It means it changed you from 1 minute you thought you couldn't be perfect. Now you learn how to be perfect. Right? It's just like riding a bike. When you first ride with training wheels, you think this is how you're supposed to ride a bike. Until you find out how you're going to take this thing off. But you have to learn first with the training wheels. Then you find out this unicycles. Then you find out all the different ways to bicycle. You know what I'm saying, that you didn't know before, because as far as you was concerned, the only way to do this was with training wheels. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You couldn't be perfect. Now you find out perfection ain't got nothing to do with your inability to not keep the law. That has to do with your ability to keep the law. You can do it, you just have to change your mind from being something.
Damn right. If I may, here, if we go to 1 John 5:3, just to back up that precept. 1 John chapter 5:3. We're gonna move quickly for time's sake. So if somebody, you know what I mean, just write them down or whatnot, but whoever gets it first, just go ahead and read it for time's sake. But if anybody needs the precepts after class, just let brothers know. 1 John 5:3.
The book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
Right, like everything that you've been trained in this world, and that's why Christianity, its whole job is to make you think you can't keep the law, is because they want to make it grievous. They want to make it a burden. In the book of Jeremiah, it talks about these pastors have added burdens to us that are not burdens. They're teaching us these things that are really possible. It's putting a goal in front of you. You feel like you can never attain, so why even try? Why even try to stop sinning when I keep getting told from a child that I'll never stop sinning? But the commandments are not grievous. It's not hard once you get into the, like Clark was saying, the training wheels. Like you thinking it's hard at first, but you go a little bit of time, and you're not doing this, whatever was plaguing you. Shit, it's like for curse, but you know, I used to smoke. You know what I'm saying? I used to smoke weed like everybody else every day, and I get around my partners. I quit smoking 2 days ago, and they get to smoking. They pass it to me, and I hit it. I'm like, damn, I forgot I quit smoking. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so natural. It's just I'm so in the motion of it that it just felt normal, natural. You know what I mean? And then when I realized it, well, I'm like, well, damn, I might as well keep going. And then you do that enough times, you're like, well, I can't quit. Oh, I might as well just quit on quitting. You know what I'm saying? What they say? Like, you just might as well give up because I didn't try so many times. I feel like I can't do it. It wasn't until I came into the truth and seeing brothers strong that was able to get over that and not do it and changing my environment that I was able to get stronger in it. And then now I have a dream about smoking weed and I get to sweating and wake up like, hold on. I feel like I got to call General Muhammad. I wake up, I'm like, oh, that was a dream. I didn't even commit a sin. It was just a dream. I felt bad about it in my dream. Like, it's not natural to me anymore. It's not normal. I couldn't imagine doing it anymore because it's been so long without doing it. But you would think it's harder than it is because they brainwash us into thinking that you have to do something wrong.
Right.
Like a Christian's mind state is like, all right, I'm going to do something wrong. So let me put a list on it. Like the pros and the cons. Like, I'm not a murderer, so check that off. I'm not a rapist, check that off. But I do buy whores and I do snort cocaine from time to time. You know what I mean? Like, what can I get on the list that's, you know, go ahead, sis.
For me, it was to stop smoking cigarettes.
Right.
Marijuana, not a big deal.
Right.
Cigarettes, I know a lot of people that smoke cigarettes. So
Right.
for me, it was a big deal to stop smoking cigarettes. But once you get your grasp on it,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to let that grasp go.
Right.
Even the smell of cigarettes to me today is like, what the hell? And if I smoke, if I smell weed, it's
Right.
like it almost literally makes my heart, my chest cave in
Most
because it's so strong.
I'm right.
It's like paranoia just walking by somebody else and I'm breathing
Right.
naturally,
Right.
walking by them and they're smoking, and then I go on about my business later on. I'm paranoid because I'm naturally high off of what they got going on outside the door of my house.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean?
Right.
And I'm not trying to get high,
Right.
but I'm walking past whatever my neighbors are doing, and they literally smoking weed, walking past my house.
Right.
And I'm walking by at the same time. And the natural, it's not cool.
Right.
No, I'm literally paranoid. Like, am I gonna get picked up? Because no, that's
Right,
not a
right,
good feeling.
right,
And then you
right.
have kids at home. You're trying to keep a clean house.
Right.
You're trying to cook dinner and make sure everything is straight at home. That's not a cool feeling to have.
Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, I'm right.
That's unstable.
Man, most high Christ. Get us to him for that. That's glorious. And that is a fight. Like I said, everyone goes through it. Cigarettes is a physical thing too. Like heroin. They say cigarettes is like a heroin almost addiction. Because your body wants it and needs it. You know what I'm saying? Tobacco. I'll take one, but the water, I appreciate it. But that's what people have when they facing those type of things. And to overcome that is nothing but the Lord. But as you get away from it, then you realize it's easier and it's actually something that's like repulsive to you. And that's because the whole time in the spiritual realm, it was a demon that really was holding you to that.
Literally.
And once you're able to get rid of that demon, then you can open up your eyes and see. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's what the way you feel is how you should want other people to feel. And that's why doing the work in the UPK is so important, and supporting the brothers as we go out and do this work in the truth, teaching people is bringing what you have, not only for yourself, but trying to bring it to someone else. That's letting your light shine. It's like, damn, I can stop smoking, but now I like to see another brother get off it like I was. You see what I'm saying? See another sister get off of it like I was. And your story is something that can help other people too. Because like I said, once they see you can do it, they know I can do it. Please, sir, go ahead. I got one, sir. The water. Yep. Let's go to the next precept. Well, probably this will be the last one. Let's see. Wisdom of Solomon 15:1. Apocrypha. Got a couple more.
So we got the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15, verse 1. But thou, O God, art gracious and true, long-suffering, and in mercy, ordering all things.
Wow. Right. The Lord is gracious and true, long-suffering, and in mercy, ordering all things. Keep going.
Verse 2. For if we sin, we are thine, knowing thy power. But we will not sin, knowing that we are counted thine.
Right. So go read it from verse 1 again. I'm going to read it like this. Go ahead.
The book of the Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha, chapter 15, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
But thou, O God, art gracious and true, long-suffering and in mercy, ordering all things.
Verse 2.
For if we sin...
So pause right there. So he's saying, we know the Lord is gracious and mercy if we sin. Like us coming through those battles, really trying to fight and conquer these demons, the Lord is going to have mercy for you. He's going to see you might get up, you might fall down, but you got to keep getting back up.
Right.
But not like Kirk Franklin, or what was the brother's name? Donnie McClurkin. We fall down. That brother was falling down on something else. I don't know what he was falling down on. He kept falling down. He need to get up. He need to knock it off. You know what I'm saying? Like that song, I bet he play that every time he do some LGBT activity. It's like that's not what the Lord is talking about right here. He's long suffering for you and will have mercy on you, but the more you know, the less that happens. It's like this is talking about somebody that never knew we were supposed to eat pork. There's somebody that never heard that we weren't supposed. I've been going to church my whole life. I've been told I can eat pork. There's nothing wrong with it. I can celebrate Christmas. I can celebrate Easter. All right, the Lord's got some mercy for you. He's long suffering. They said God loves babies and fools. You know what I mean? Like this little child doesn't know any better, and something happened. He didn't walk across a ledge. You know what I mean? Like what's the different shows in the movie? You know, you see the baby walking across a ledge. Like if he leans to the left or the right, it's death. Or what's that old cartoon? We ain't got no Generation Z up in here. Mr. Magoo. Y'all remember Mr. Magoo? He riding around on a roller coaster in his car. Then he going to work. He facing death every day of his life. You know what I'm saying? But God has mercy on babies and fools. Like, but once you have this knowledge, that is going out the window. Now you have accountability. Now you've been told and broken down the precepts that no, we can't eat pork. You can't celebrate Christmas anymore. And you keep going back and doing that over and over again, then you're playing the Lord for a fool now. He's going to deal with you. I wouldn't play that game. You see what I'm saying? So that's what they want you to do. So read it again from the top. August shot from verse 1.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15, verse 1. But thou, O God, are gracious and true, long-suffering and in mercy, ordering all things. Verse 2, for if we sin,
Right, you pause it from there, and then that's just saying he has mercy if we sin, but keep going.
come. For if we sin, we are thine, knowing thy power.
Right, so this is like he's saying, we are thine, we are the Lord's, knowing thy power. People that are in the truth, we are the Lord's, we're his property. They said we was purchased at a price. Keep going.
Come. Knowing thy power, but we will not sin, knowing that we are counted God.
Right, like this is why we won't do these things. It's because we know that the Lord has. This is who we yield to. Once again, bringing it full circle. Who do we submit to? Who do we obey? Who do we fear? This is the Lord. This is who we fear. We don't obey and submit to our oppressor, to our family, to our mothers, to our children, to nobody but what the Lord wants us to honor and obey. Let's see. All right, drop that one. Let's go to Psalm 78 and 29.
We're back in the Bible.
Yep.
Our sisters.
Psalm chapter 78, verse 29. Let's go ahead and read it when you got it for time's sake. We're gonna, yep. Psalm 78 and 29.
The book of Psalms, chapter 78, verse 29. So they did eat and were well filled, for he gave them their own desire.
Verse 30.
Verse 30. They were not estranged from their lust, but while their meat was yet in their mouth.
Right, so it's just talking about the different sinners, and while they're eating, while they're enjoying these things that are unlawful, and that could be whatever it is. It's not just being food. This is in spiritual terms. Whatever it is that you're eating or partaking in that's not of the Lord, while they're eating and getting filled, keep going.
Verse 31. The wrath of God came upon them and slew
Right.
the fattest of them and smite down the chosen man of Israel.
Right. So that's what's going to happen to the people that continue in this way. Like the Lord is going to smite you. Go ahead.
I don't want to be out of order.
No.
Is it like the brother who when we had the little break off and he was disrespecting the other one?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like how the Lord dealt with him in a fashionable amount of time.
Okay. Oh, okay. You're talking about with the coronavirus Tazadakia? Right. So what he's talking about is one of the men that split off from the UPK, started a fake Israelite group, was really the Christian church. And he took and led men and started to tell them that he was the Holy Spirit.
Right.
And had them, giving them all types of triple tithes instead of paying one tithe. You got to pay 3 tithes and all these things. But eventually he even tried to stop the UPK from going out and teach at one point in time. He ended up dying at the age of 44 from coronavirus when coronavirus hit. So that's definitely one of those things. You can definitely say that. And I've seen it for all different fake Israelite groups. Anybody that's come up against the UPK has always been something that happens to them, to their leaders. We're just going to see them all fall and disappear, man.
Right.
Let's drop that one. Let's go to Romans 8 and 26. I know I said that was the last one 2 months ago, but I got 2 more and we out. 9, 10. All right. Romans 8 and 26.
The book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 26. Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities.
Right. The Spirit helps our infirmities. Infirmities is like a weakness. We all are weak. Not a weak like some brother, he can bench press 250. Another brother can bench press 300. Weakness is these things that our flesh is yielding to, right? But it says the Spirit helpeth our infirmities. The Spirit can make you strong in places where you're weak. That's the Holy Spirit. Keep going.
For we know not what we should pray for as we ought.
Like certain things you might be dealing with, you might not even know it, but the Spirit knows it. Like this is something that you need to conquer. This is something you need to get over with. And the Spirit is seeing what it is you're dealing with. Keep going. What you need to pray for.
But the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered.
Right. So this is something else, like in the spiritual realm, the Lord, I mean, the Spirit that's on you that wants to do right is going to intercede and fight for you with the Lord and say, all right, man, this brother, he really wants to stop doing this. Lord, we need to, you know what I'm saying, find a way for this brother to get out of this shit, out of this. Right. That's why if you're going through certain things in life, you might turn on scripture breakdown, and General Muhammad is talking about exactly what you're going through. You're like, how does this happen every week? You know what I'm saying? I was just getting into it, and then this class is speaking exactly what I was going through. Like, that's going on in the spirit realm. The Lord is guiding you to what you need to see and what you need to hear to help fix that thing that you're going through. Damn right. I knew I wasn't the only one, man. Go ahead.
Oh, God, sir. Verse 27. And he that scattereth
searcheth.
And he that searches the heart knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit. Because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of God.
Right. And the Lord that searches the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit. Like the Lord knows. You can't fool the Lord. You can't just, okay, I want to be righteous, but you really don't want to be right. Like you just saying that you putting on the clothes and putting on the front versus somebody that really wants to do this. The Lord understands that. And that's also where you get that strength from and you get that mercy from being genuine. You know what I'm saying? The Bible says the Lord wants a contrite heart. How you say it, Officer Karak? The Lord wants a contrite, a broken spirit and a contrite heart, man. Like someone that genuinely like has a conscience. That's another thing. Like this, today's society has been able, they're really good. Esau's been really good at making men and women have zero conscience, especially, I mean, yeah, I ain't say it like that, but it seemed like the sisters, man. These modern day sisters are conscienceless, and that's because in order for abortions to be so rampant, it has to be a level of inhumanity that you have to have in order to do this. And you can't have a conscience. You see what I'm saying? You can't feel guilty. They even want you to feel good. They have an abortion party. They having a girl twerking in the abortion clinic on a rap song. You know what I mean? Like it's a certain amount of blasphemy or profaneness that Esau has pushed out that it's like it's glory in being evil now. That's where you see the music. It became real satanic. It got dark for a minute. I don't know, somewhere in between like 08 or 07 and 2015. I don't know, man. It just it's like being the more demonic, or, you know, Nicki Minaj, she do a whole show in a red hoodie, acting like she having a seance, and everybody just kind of pushed the limits on what they could do to show that they love Satan. You know what I mean? And it just became commonplace. And now we have the spirit in the children. Like there is no, I don't feel anything. I don't have any feelings or emotions about anything that goes on with anybody else. You know what I mean? Let's just have something first.
I don't know if anybody has heard of the divorce parties.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes no sense whatsoever. Not just the abortions,
Yep.
the divorce parties,
Huh?
women praising each other, or praising little women, little girls being pregnant outside of high school or while they're in high school, praising them rather than praising them for graduating from high school.
Right.
Or being elevated or to a new position in a job. It's crazy. It's a lot going on.
All right, the brother had it.
Yeah. It's not only like the transformation from just, you know what I'm saying, from like they used to rap about drug dealing.
Right.
Now they're rapping about just being on drugs.
Right.
Now, you know what I'm saying? It's like taking turns for the worse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like as they progress, they try to see how more and more like demonic or whatever they can get.
Yeah, like if I may add those two things, made me think of two things. Like you hear these rap songs and these cats like Judah, we really do. They say we have our sin etched in like with a diamond tip, like iron is etched into us. Brothers will make a song and it'd be jamming, the beat be slapping, and a brother make something that's absolutely horrible and painful and just like you need help, but they make it sound cool. Like the brother be like, yeah, I'm popping perks and my liver falling out. Like they brag about you, like, damn, I don't know whether to dance or to shed a tear for the brother. You know what I'm saying? Like Go ahead, sir.
The smoke song. Damn,
Nardo, okay. Nardo Wick.
Nardo Wick.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one. Oh yeah.
Like the beat is it.
Right.
But the word
Is
it's just you never hear them talk about killing white people.
right.
Or Asian.
Right.
Or any other race but their own people.
Right. And that was the next one I was gonna say after Tazabah, like the level of the killing and the murdering, the way they brag about killing brothers is different too. They brag about smoking on their ops and pissing on their graves and doing all types of like they just taking it extra in the joy of killing another brother. It's like and but the sister, you had something?
I was just gonna say I feel like a lot of rappers that actually stand up and speak for us, they either get killed or they're no longer popular, like Tupac, like MC. A lot of people that actually would speak up and say like, let's stop killing each other and start building each other instead. They end up dead or not popular anymore, unfortunately.
That's we know who's running the industry. It's Amalek, the so-called Jewish man. He's not paying for that. I paid you to destroy these people. I didn't pay you to lift them up. You know what I mean? So that's why the UPK will never be platinum or triple platinum, because the industry is made to destroy black people. It's not made to heal us. All right, real quick, I call him Gabor. Officer Uraga Bar. And then Tazabah.
What you saying is what's being brought out is so heavy, but
I skipped you too, Salaki. Sis. Oh, go ahead. I can't see you. I can't see you back there. There's somebody right in front of you. You a little bit shorter. I let it go, Salaki.
Back to where we was when we was talking about
You gotta put your hand up high.
How society and stuff has changed. How I sent my other one a video of this woman who killed her boyfriend's daughter. She was 7 years old, and she killed her. And for someone to have that kind of spirit to kill a child,
right?
They're just not human. You know, it's like how when you got with this man, you knew this baby is 7 years old. You knew this man had this child. So what made you get to the point to where you had to kill this child to make you feel better, to make your life feel better? I mean, I don't understand that scenario. You know, how that mindset goes when you go into something that you already know And then when it happens, you're like, oh my God, he has a daughter. She's in my way and I want to get rid of her. No, that's not the way to go. And then it's like I had on Black History Month. It was when I was at work. You know, they didn't advertise it like they advertise everything else. This is on another subject, but this is how white people think of us. And I went to my manager and I said, well, where is all the stuff to celebrate Black History Month on Spirit Day? Everywhere you walked, it was there.
Right.
Do you know, she told me later that afternoon, do you know what she played for the next shift to celebrate Black History Month? It was a rap song, but just think of an artist. Just what would white people think of an artist that represents us? You already knew.
Who was?
Tupac.
Oh, Tupac. Okay.
Tupac. What a Tupac song.
Right.
Is that who she thinks we are?
Right.
You know, I mean, Tupac was kind of young. I mean, she didn't go back into our generation, you know, where we made our stripes, where we made things, where we made the washing machine.
Right.
We made them. She didn't go nowhere near there, not even deep down there. And she married to an African. She's white.
Yeah, it's all around. Okay.
I was appalled.
Officer Karak? He, okay. That's all you had, sir? Deuteronomy 28, 56 and 57? All right. Tell us about you had why he gets that.
Yeah, just the piggyback off what you said, how Amalek runs the industry. You know what I'm saying? The proof is that they're trying to destroy us is they invested in the prison system.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All them people that are pushing this gangster music and all that stuff.
Right.
The same people invested in the prison industrial complex.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
No, that's heavy. Yeah, Commander Giuliana and the generals were bringing that information out. I didn't know anything about that, but they were in cahoots together and making money together, paying the record industry to make songs that will influence us to do crime, and they getting money by us going into jail, doing all the crimes, following them. Go ahead, Yaragabor.
I got the scripture for I don't want to say the pool, but also just because y'all touched that note, at one point in time in the early 90s, the record labels and the producers came together and they had a big convention.
Right.
They all came together all across America, and they said, "How can we stop these N-words from rap?" You got to remember, at one point in time, before the Tupacs, before the Biggies and all these other brothers, we had KRS-One. We had brothers talk about fight the power, building up the communities. You know what I mean? Even after the Black Panthers, so they came together and they seen that, and they said no. And even though it was wrong, they had niggas wearing African colors.
Right.
And they was wrong, but it was a unity.
Right.
And they came together, they said, we can't have this because we know where this is going to go. That's when Farrakhan was actually able to do the Million Man March. If Farrakhan tried Million Man March right now, he'll be lucky if he get 500,000. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's not going to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like you said, so this was all planned. It was put together and they executed. So,
all right. No sweat. Go ahead with the precept.
Okay.
Out of one pool.
So this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 56. The tender and delight and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter.
Right. And that's one of the curses that we have been in. And that's like what the sister was talking about, that woman that killed her boyfriend's daughter, how heartless you have to be. That is just showing you how it is, how powerful it is when you fall to a demon.
Right.
Because you got this demon on you. Everybody has that feeling. Whatever it is that you said in your mind, I don't want to do this. I need to stop doing this. And then when you do it, it's like something came over you, and then when you done, you feel bad about it. You're like, damn, why did I do that again? I knew I wasn't supposed to do that. I knew I shouldn't have done that. I've been trying to stop doing this. That's because you let that demon take control. All it is, she just went to the highest level of that. And the goal of a demon is to try to kill you. And she took it to that point where now she's going to be in jail for the rest of her life. And guess what? That demon leaves her. That's why you feel like that. Is you be like, damn, why did I do that? That's because the demon is gone. He did his job. You see what I'm saying? Now she in jail. The demon don't mess with her. They say that's why brothers go to prison and get doctors. Right. Go to prison and become monks and do all type, write books, is because the demon wanted you to get in the cell. Once you get in there, he out. You good. Now you're like, damn, I'll start working out. I start reading books. I'm looking through the law books. I'm helping people beat their cases. I'm damn near a lawyer. Like you could have went to law school, but the demon wants you to destroy yourself. So that's, like I said, preparing yourself is being aware. They have a book. It's called Emotional Intelligence. Some heathen wrote a book about being emotional intelligent, and you have to be aware of your emotions and see what's going on when it's happening. Okay, usually when this happens, that's why I hate these words. You hear it on Clubhouse all the time. I hate people that say the words trigger. I hate gaslighting. I hate all these words that these words people use. They really misusing them. But the initial use of it is like, okay, something valuable. Like certain things may trigger you in a real sense, not just arguing with somebody on Clubhouse, but a certain thing may happen to you when you're a kid, and this is what makes you want to go and do this. You got to be aware of it, that when, oh man, my wife says this to me, it really reminds me of my mom arguing with my dad. So that's the reason why I flipped over the table, because that's what my dad used to do. And she said, my mom said something to him, he flip over the table. Now I'm flipping over the table. Well, now she just said that right down. Okay, let me be aware of how I feel right now. The demon wants me to flip this table over. I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I will tell you, shut your goddamn mouth. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't going to do that. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead.
You know, working in the medical industry, there are a lot of demons there too, because I have a lot of patients that come in. I work in the cancer department, so I have a lot of patients that come in, and I see a lot of times they give them these medications that I feel are unnecessary. I feel like they have to take this medication, and then because they're taking this medication, they got to take this medication. Now they got to take this medication. Now they got like 15 medications they're having to take, because, you know, the pharmaceutical industry is really evil. Of course, it's ran by neoplasties, right, which is terrible. And, you know, I had a discussion with some of my coworkers about Dr. Sebi, about how he had natural medicine. And I'm actually personally thinking about going back to school to get my doctor's degree so I can push more natural medicine and kind of get rid of that poison. But just being in the medical industry and seeing how destructive and poisonous and evil it is, it's just terrible. I feel like a lot of people that come in there with these diseases actually are worse when they leave, opposed to when they're coming in. It's just terrible.
All right, get a sister in for that. We need more sisters that can go ahead and get that doctorate degree and you know what I mean, help out the brothers and sisters in the school with that knowledge. All right, yeah, we're gonna close out the class pretty soon. But
add to that,
go ahead.
It's so true, but the thing is, the pharmaceutical and the doctors are in it together.
Right.
Because it's really not, if you think about it, there is no medication that cures anything. All it does is subsides or slows down the disease. Right. Subsides the symptoms. It's no drug that completely gets rid of any kind of disease at all. Right. You name one. Tell me one. I haven't pushed it to no patient. I have never seen a medication I gave a patient and their disease is gone.
Right.
Even through the years, even chemotherapy. Right. It's nothing but prolong the process of it. That's all it do. The doctors, they say what they need. Pharmaceutical people give it to them. They're all in cahoots together. There is, and it's so true about the cell and Dr. Sebi, because I have a son who is 34 years old, and since the day he made a year old, he's only been on formula that has nutrients, minerals, and everything. His skin is so beautiful. No preservative, no food, no none of that. Just on formula, 5 cans a day. That's it. And his skin is so perfect. His hair is so perfect. So it's true. It's totally true. We don't need all that. Right. We don't.
And if I may, you know what I mean, just to sum all that up, is that's the Lord, you know what I'm saying, made us. And there is nothing wrong completely. Like I said, we don't want to just shun the whole medical field. Obviously, you guys work in there, so we know that medicines do have value. But overall, the most important thing would be the Lord gave us a way to live, to eat. You gave us a brain. We know we got to work out, got to eat healthy. That's the most important thing to keeping your health maintained. And you wouldn't need to go into all these medicines if we, you know what I mean, had a better. And a lot of these diseases come from stress. You know what I mean? Being in this captivity, it's a lot of these things we get these sickness from. Go ahead, Oscar Rock. He just had his hand first.
Real quick. Daniel chapter 1, starting verse 11. Then said Daniel to Melzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. 12. Prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat, which is just bread, and water to drink. 13. Then let our countenances be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat. And as thou seest, deal with thy servants. 14. So he consented to them in the matter and proved them 10 days. 15. And at the end of 10 days, their countenances appeared fairer, which is better, and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Which is just to say, like this, just being Israelite, having a culture, and having a God, it changes how everything works.
Right. Damn right. Tazabah?
And I was gonna say, we got our laws to protect us. You know what I'm saying? The food, like certain foods you're supposed to stay away from. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord already made a law that we don't eat like bottom feeding animals. You know what I'm saying? Animals that clean the earth and stuff, because the animals is already full of garbage. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord already has like laws to protect us. You know what I'm saying? So really though, you just gotta be obedient to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Most likely gonna be healthy.
Damn right, damn right. All right. Yeah, with that, we'll go ahead and close out the class. Pass the class over to Priest and Officer Uragawar. You got the security announcements over here. Let's see. All right. That's on first.
Sir. We are the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for a new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shake themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6-month period in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, 8 through 10. Meaning 10th in Hebrew, Masharah. 10% of any increase the Lord give you. Give to Treasury Department or a teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests. Not mandatory, but it's suggested. Brothers got gang. Whatsoever amount you would like to give to the brothers, man. Upcoming high holy days. We just went through We just went through the Feast of Unleavened Bread. We are now going into the Feast of First Fruit. Any other high holy convocations, you can find us on ISUPK website. If any brother wants to become a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. So with that, man of Israel, man of Israel, a Muslim, which means to stand. Man of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Man of Israel, a Muslim Shabbat, a Muslim Barak, Yahweh
Yahweh
Shabbat Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Rakathum.
Yazumatah. Sisters, the Muslim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to start, which means to turn and face the sisters. We're going to give one courteous salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, a Muslim Shabbat, a Muslim Barak,
Yahweh Shema Alatah B'Shem Yahshua.
Yazumatah, dismissed. Yeah, you was all right, boy. You get better.